if you were to take like the trifecta of automation games right now, you could, or let's say the two biggest ones, Satisfactory and Factorio. I've done runs of both. Satisfactory, a bit of a bigger run. StarRupture is like the third point of the triangle. So where Factorio has more combat than Satisfactory and is in 2D. You know, Satisfactory is kind of the automation king. It has like the most options, the most things you can do. The combat in Satisfactory is like honestly pretty tacked on though. It's not a big deal. And in Satisfactory, there's no base raids or anything like that. Factorio, your base can be raided. There's a lot of combat in Factorio, but it's very basic. It's like auto aim and stuff. So the combat in Factorio is there, but it's rudimentary. This game is basically a combination of Satisfactory, and there's a lot of combat focus and exploration. So, new game. Session name, Chatlandia. Okay, so we have to pick a character. Okay, scientist. Let's do the scientist. I don't know what any of this means, but let's do it. Geneva with the 5 bomb. Thank you.
What the?
Please don't move. I want to run a holistic scan. Commencing holistic scan.
StarRupture is a fantastic early access game. It's made by Creepy Jar, the same people that made Green Hell, the adventure survival game that is to this day, it ended up being one of the cooler ones out there. StarRupture, however, does some things to make the automation part of the game a lot simpler. So where Satisfactory uses a push system, StarRupture uses a pull system. So for anything to move down a conveyor belt in this game, you have to have a device or something at the end of the conveyor belt or the rail that wants the item. So in other words, conveyor belts will not fill up unless there is a reason for the item to be pushed down it. Now, the really cool system about this is this pull systems make networking possible. And you can't do that in Satisfactory effectively until like mid to late game. So what that means is if you look here, all of my mines over here, which are Wolfram, are connected to all of my mines over here that are titanium. And instead of having to have a unique path for both the resources, we can just network the rails. So see, these titanium things are on the same rail system as these Wolfram, but because the systems only pull what they need, the conveyor belts don't get clogged. So you can make like a more, instead of it being a bunch of lines, like in Satisfactory, you can make a spider web in this game. And the spider web is just constantly passing whatever resources, whatever anything needs around your base. Things only show up on the rails if there's something on the rails needing the resource. And that makes the rail system a lot easier to use than Satisfactory, because you can make like spider web networks and things just pull whatever they need across the network. So you don't have to have like a specific thing for this, a specific thing for that. Make sure they're stacked, make sure they're going to the right place. Whenever I want to make something new, I just go to my existing base and switch out all the recipes. And since everything is railed properly, it just drags what it needs from whatever it needs and starts making the new item. We're going to reset this. And now in just a second, these mines, you can see that mine. See how it just picked up? Look at that. That's the pull right there. So you see how there's almost no Wolfram coming in because it didn't need it? But then I said we need Wolfram, and then it starts pulling tons of Wolfram out of the mines. That's cool. It's a very cool system, but there's no question it makes the game less of a puzzle. And I think that's what the devs are trying to do, because StarRupture by far has the most developed combat system of those 3 games we've mentioned so far. Oh, dude.
What were those creatures? They didn't look like anything from Earth.
They're vermin, the main threat on this planet.
What do you mean, main?
Most of the people that arrived on Arcadia 7 were eliminated by these creatures. Natural disasters you can prepare for, but vermin are a bit more unpredictable.
Interesting.
Strange organisms.
I gotta say this, the combat
They look like
feels
insects at first glance, but
a lot
they
better
couldn't
than
survive out
Satisfactory.
here with this level of oxygen concentration. Is this some completely new species? Why don't I know anything about them? I know everything about this planet.
The IRO posed a TS9 top-secret clause on their existence. They made very sure no one ever found out about them. Aside from high-ranking officials, only people sent directly to the planet have ever learned of their existence.
Claywood was here. You should have told us. You knew.
It's an automation game at heart, but this game definitely has, I'd say, the most focus on exploration and combat as well. There's even like a little main story, like where you have to like build story items and you go into events. There's logs and stuff like that.
So you were a soldier?
That's right.
Then I have a question. How can you sleep knowing everything you had to do in the name of the IRO?
I don't sleep too well. But not because of the orders I carried out, but because of the ones I didn't.
So even after your sentencing, you're still on their side?
No, I'm on our side. All of us. The side of peace.
We are not going to be friends.
Damn. Jeez. Okay. For early access, it's pretty great. So, yeah, it's a very solid automation adventure game, and it's a lot of fun. I've played it for almost almost 30 hours now. It is, I do want to warn people, I get asked a lot, this or Satisfactory? And it's a no-brainer right now. Satisfactory, no question. This game is awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's missing like actual core functionality. There's no copy-paste system. So one thing I'm quickly noticing in this game is the QOL is giving a really, really awesome experience in terms of how the conveyor belts work. But one thing I'm quickly noticing is that there needs to be a better way to quickly change a whole bunch of settings. Like I can already tell it's gonna get really annoying having to touch every single machine every time we want to do a different thing. I don't like that. So yeah, if there was a copy paste, that'd be good too. So if I could come up to this and I could go, okay, I want you to use this. And then I could look at it and you see where it says EUs? If there was an F to copy and a V to paste. So I could just look at this and hit F to, or maybe not F because it's that, maybe G, right? But then I could hit like G here to copy, and then I could just go paste, 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 you know, like that, done. And then like over here, do one setting, copy, paste, paste, you know, like that'd be fine. That would be fine. There's no overland system except running, and this has one of the biggest maps in the game. I heard there may be some teleportation stuff later, but I haven't gotten to it. Unknown location could be worth checking out. Let's see what that is. Time to go do an explore, chat. Okay, here we go.
Geoscanner initialized.
Finally.
First time I've seen them spawn in. There seems to be a pretty wicked damage range fall off.
No more distractions.
Oh.
It works.
Oh. All right, let's go over here. Let's go over here first. Dude. So, and they've already said they have actually a pretty extensive roadmap out. And the roadmap says everything I just mentioned. New base building tools coming, new overland traversal stuff, like new enemies, new guns, the whole 9 yards. There's a nice roadmap on the news section in Steam. Really? I haven't seen that yet. Let me take a look real quick. Mostly positive already. Hell yeah, dude. Ongoing improvements, game performance, building mechanics, combat mechanics, world, and UI UX. Cool. Coming in early access. More wildlife. A new way to travel on map between bases. We were just talking about that. Codex, we were just talking about that. New building features, new combat mechanics, new exploration mechanics. Expanded map, additional corporation levels and rewards, new weapons, new dang, dude. New forgotten engine. I don't even know what that is. New additional story elements too. Cargo dispatcher receiver rework. I have very, very high hopes for this game. I think this could possibly become one of the greats along Factorio and Satisfactory when it's done.